Amon has betrayed the TAL'DARIM, and because of that, at the beginning of the previous episode, Alarak decided to invade the Spear of Adun to warn Matriarch Vorazun that the Hierarch is in danger. Now initially, and I guess this is quite understandable, she was reluctant to accept his help, but eventually she did go, and she managed to save Artanis.
Artanis, Hierarch of the Twilight Council, Warlord of the Templar. I had expected so much more. Arrogance! Watch your words, or my blade will watch them for you.
I love Alarak.
Oh, that's hardly a way to speak of one who saved your master's life.
You care little for my survival, Alarak. What is the true reason you've come to me?
Our god broke his ancient covenant and cast us low. These are lies, Artanis. I am the liar. Are you not but a lie incarnate, machine, Protoss?
Speak your peace, Alarak.
The TAL'DARIM's death fleet amasses at Slayn, awaiting the start of a full-scale invasion. I come with an offer. You will aid me in invoking a challenge for the right to rule my kind as High Lord. And in return, I will grant you a cessation of hostilities between our people.
Phoenix, rally my advisors. It appears we have much to discuss.
Alrighty. So here we are, back on the Spear of Adun.
Ah, Artanis. I believe I will serve you more effectively from here. Besides, I would rather Alarak remain where he can be watched.
Alrighty, fair enough. So she's gonna be hanging out with Grandma Rohana for a little while. I don't think I could have a conversation with Rohana for any longer than a couple of minutes. But anyways, the thing is, we're currently kind of out of options, right? I mean, we were sort of chasing Zerathul's prophecies, only to find out that the Xel'Naga that we were looking for are all dead. Well, let's go ahead and look around the ship for a little bit. I guess we can start at the bridge.
Hierarch, I apologize for the interruption, but Phase Smith Carax has urgently requested your presence within the solar
Alright,
core.
fine. Then we'll head over to the solar core instead.
Hierarch, I believe I have found a way to save our people. As Zeratul foresaw, this keystone can indeed be our
Oh,
salvation.
it had a second purpose, right?
Explain yourself.
As we have seen, the keystone was designed to be found and assembled by those who would ascend to become Xel'Naga. After leading them to Ulnar, it would also expel its stored energy to awaken the slumbering Xel'Naga. The keystone siphons energies and redistributes essence, matter, information, consciousness. To this device, they are all the same. I see that now.
This is how it cleansed Kerrigan?
It extracted the essence that forged her into the Queen of Blades. Then it used that energy to release Amon from the void. If I can discover how to control the keystone, we could use it to extract Amon from the Kala and save our people.
Then Zeratul has led us to hope after all. Continue your research, Carax. We have a war to take to Amon.
Alrighty. Carax better work around the clock. There's definitely no slowing down here. Phoenix, how are you doing today?
You were right all along, Hierarch. I am little more.
No.
than a
You are
clone of your
literally a
friend
clone.
Phoenix.
You're literally a
The
clone.
TAL'DARIM speaks truth. I am synthetic, a replication, a lie.
What did you find in the archive?
My death, my rebirth as a dragoon, and then my death at the hands of this Queen of Blades. I am not Phoenix, yet I hold his memories as if they were my own. I must have time to consider this.
You are a warrior, Phoenix. Whether you identify yourself as my old friend or not, know that I believe in you. And I believe you will help me destroy Amon's armies and save our people. Do not waver because of this knowledge.
I will try, Hierarch.
Alrighty. So apparently Artanis ideally wants him to fight, but Phoenix is going through a bit of an identity crisis. Fair enough. I mean, I guess everyone would. Let's have a look at the core interface. Because once more, I got myself some solar right. Now, a lot of you mentioned in the comment section of the previous episode that I should really consider trying out Phoenix, just because we can sort of treat him as like a glorified version of the solar lens. And obviously, it doesn't really work like that. But the thing is, of course, that I can sort of just deploy him to push into objective points. And something I didn't really realize until very recently is that a lot of enemies will sort of try to focus down Phoenix. So he's only going to be out on the battlefield for 30 seconds, but that will not only mean that he deals a lot of damage, he will also tank a ton of it. So I think it might be a good thing to at the very least give a try. I think I want to pick up the Orbital Assimilator and Chrono Search once again. I think this is actually my favorite setup so far. I mean, obviously, I don't really know exactly how Phoenix is going to play out, but I think this is going to be a really, really nice setup. I could go with Temporal Field as well. The second wave, or the second tier right here, is a little bit confusing. But I guess we can pick up Orbital Strike and just sort of use it whenever we've got some leftover energy and deploy Phoenixes on cooldown. Considering I got Chrono Search, I do think that starting supply is just going to be wonderfully beneficial. Really will help us focus on a ton of early game economy. Alright, good. I like this setup. I think that's really, really nice. Let's have a look at, well, I wanted to go to the bridge. Let's go back there and talk to good old Alarak.
You must know Amon will destroy you.
If you have such faith in him, why are you here?
Oh, I merely voice the inevitable. I know the true power of what you face. I said destroy you, not I.
I have seen enough. His hubris will be his undoing. It is a flaw I also see in you.
I believe I like you, Hierarch. Your bravery is commendable.
Join me then. Together, we can defeat him.
I cannot tether my fate to yours. Hatred does not burn within you as it does in me. You do not see through the agony of knowing all you believed in is a lie, and that your only solace is found in the destruction of your betrayer.
No. Amon corrupted my people, and now turns them into a hybrid abomination. My rage burns brighter than 1,000 suns. And soon all will see my wrath unleashed.
Calm down, gentlemen.
Then this is something I hope to witness.
The voice actor for Alarak is absolutely superb. I mean, I feel like that's one of the recurring things in Blizzard games. It's very noticeable when you start playing something that isn't necessarily from a AAA developer. But in particular, Blizzard games, they've got phenomenal voice actors. Like, all of the characters here have a very distinct, I guess, feel, but also a very obvious voice, right? Whenever I hear, I think it's John DeLacy, right? Whenever I hear his voice, I will think of Alarak immediately. Look at them. They're so badass. They're still so very obviously Protoss, but they're so very different and still very similar as well. Anyways, we may very well be able to then travel.
Indecision is weakness.
I was talking, dude.
Examine. Act.
Alright, fine. I think we're gonna be traveling to Slayn is what I was gonna say. Let's have a look at the War Council.
Artanis, Hierarch of the Dalam.
Talk to me, Rohana.
Rohana, do you not see
Hey, she's good again, by the way, yeah.
Nerve cords?
Only just realized
I
that.
cannot allow you to fall under Amon's sway again.
The Kala was created in our darkest moment. Only its light was able to bind our people to give us unity. We are born into it, and when we die, our spirits become one with it. It is worth fighting for.
And now Amon uses it against us. It sustains his existence. Its time must end.
Artanis, through the Kala, our every thought and emotion are made as one. I feel his thoughts and emotions swirling like a vortex throughout. He does not realize it, but here, within the Kala, he is vulnerable.
How?
Just as he can see into me, I can see into him. We can use this to our advantage, Hierarch. I know it.
It is not worth it.
Please, I only ask for time.
Alright. I like how she mentions this after already being you know, under his influence several times. Anyways, Vorazun, you keep an eye out on Grandma Rohana, okay?
Nothing was as it seemed. We came to Ulnar to awaken the Xel'Naga and receive their aid. Instead, Amon nearly killed us. I fear Zeratul prophecy is no longer clear to me.
He was closer to the truth than I thought. The Xel'Naga did rest here. Had they lived, I think they would have given us their aid, just as Zeratul said. If nothing else, I will grant him that.
Matriarch, your words surprise me.
Perhaps your counsel has proved influential in some regards.
Then I will endeavor to give you more of it.
I said some regards, Hierarch. Not all.
Fair enough. That's actually quite interesting. How long were they dead for, the Xel'Naga? Were they, you know, just killed by Amon literally prior to us arriving here? Like just a little while before? Or have they been dead for a very long time? I guess we don't really know at this point. Let's have a look at the assembly panel.
Powerful psionic warriors have joined our ranks, Hierarch. You must choose among them.
Alright. Yeah, some of you mentioned that I apparently accidentally skipped.
Alarak's vanguards have joined our cause.
Wait, did I?
It seems our surprises have no end.
I should check out though if I missed anything else. So we got access to the vanguard of the TAL'DARIM. An immortal with missile bombardment. That looks awesome. Deals area damage to enemy ground units and deals bonus damage to armored units. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's a passive ability. So I'm a big fan of passive abilities. Means I don't really have to worry so much about controlling my units perfectly. Attacks deals damage, or attacks rather deal damage to target enemy ground unit and other enemy ground units near it. TAL'DARIM warriors who are felt in failure and disgrace are afforded one opportunity to erase their shame. By being placed in a vanguard assault frame, they hope to create as much devastation as possible before dying in service to their High Lord. Fair enough. And that's exactly, by the way, what Alarak wants to become. He wants to become the High Lord now that, what was his name, Malash? Wasn't doing particularly well. We met him in one of the previous missions. Anyway, so we have the Sentinel, which I like quite a bit. This is a great way of dumping our minerals, and since they revive, once again, it's a very passive unit, but it's very nice to have. We have the Stalker. We can try out the Adept. I mean, they hit air in this game mode, right? So it's a little bit different. I might want to give them a trial, though. I don't really like the idea of psionic transfer activated abilities all too much. Could also just go with Dragoon, to be honest, and just play something really passive. I don't think that's a bad option. We'll try out the Vanguard. We can play with the Blood Hunter. I think that one is pretty solid. Energizer is just phenomenal. I don't think there's anyone who disagrees with me on that one. The Energizer is just insane. We have the Corsair. Once again, a really nice supportive unit. Sort of the Blood Hunter and the Corsair, right? They are sort of the spellcasters of our army, right? The Blood Hunter, Energizer, Corsair are like the spellcasters, and then the Vanguard, Dragoon, Sentinel are more or less like the damage dealers. Now we also have the Psionic Warrior, though. We can choose between the High Templar, with, of course, the option to morph them into Archon as well, or we can use Dark Archon. Permanently takes control of enemy units, forces enemy units to attack each other, attacks ground and air units. So it does have an attack here as well. Permanently takes control of target enemy units, and it causes confusion as well. Forces enemy units in the target area to attack each other, rather, for 10 seconds. Sometimes I wish these units were still in the multiplayer like you had them in StarCraft 1. They are so badass. Dangerous and unstable, merging into a Dark Archon is permitted only under the direst of circumstances. Their chaotic psionic energies drive our enemies to madness, causing them to turn against each other. So I'm not entirely sure if this requires only the usage of one gateway, or if I still need two to warp in, sort of like the High Templar, right? Alright, I like this setup. I think it's really good. Well, without further ado, I think it is time for us to travel. By the way, some of you mentioned that I can click... Can I click on any of these pylons? And apparently they would like start shining. Ooh, I guess it... Ah, there we go. Perfect pylon activated. Nice. Anyways, let's have a look at the Celestial Array and travel to another destination. A short time later in the War Council.
The void portal within Ulnar has been sealed, but a greater threat looms. Amon is transforming our people into a host form.
While we were focused upon Ulnar, he has unleashed the full might of the Golden Armada, using our own weaponry to eradicate life from planets across the Caprulu sector.
Our current forces are not powerful enough to engage the Great Fleet, but Amon's other servants run rampant across the sector.
Then we should strike immediately. Eliminate his outlying forces.
The ancient purifiers were designed for war. If we reactivate them, we can build our armies and
Rohana's not gonna like that.
Zergloods in one fell swoop.
Assuming they do not turn on us first. The Purifiers possess no loyalty, no honor.
You waste time bickering. The TAL'DARIM's death fleets are your threat. I alone can challenge Malash for the right to rule and bend his army to my will.
Do not forget Mobius Corps. They are rumored to operate from a hidden base where they forge a hybrid army to serve, even now.
This is true, but we cannot engage them without knowing where they are. Vorazun, send your most elite Dark Templar to scour the sector. For now, Karax, your focus must remain with the keystone. The survival of our people depends on our actions in the days to come. It falls to the Firstborn to stop the coming oblivion.
Alright. So I actually do have two different options. I can go to Endion or I can go to Slayn. Let's have a look.
The Xel'Naga are dead. There is no salvation within Ulnar. And yet, we indeed found hope. If we are to fight, we must raise an army. Phoenix and I believe that we can awaken the ancient purifiers and call upon their power. They may have been a forbidden weapon, but I have seen their potential in Phoenix and know that this time, they will not fail us.
Alright, so we have the option to awake the purifiers, or we can head on out to Slayn.
Siding with Alarak is indeed a risk. Tassadar, old friend, what would you do? Zeratul, would you have me take such a chance? The answer matters little. If this alliance can weaken Amon's armies, then it is a chance that must be taken.
I was actually leaning to go to Endion. However, now, upon realizing that I can apparently get the Void Ray over here, and I remember the Destroyer very fondly. Now that I can get the Void Ray over here, I kinda wanna head out to Slayn and see if I can make a lot of those flying Protoss units, because they are absolutely phenomenal. I know there's a TAL'DARIM version of the Void Ray called the Destroyer, and it's just phenomenal. It's just absolutely insane. I've been looking forward to trying those out for a little while once again already. I think we're gonna be heading out to the TAL'DARIM, not home world, but Blade world. The TAL'DARIM Blade world, fair enough. Apparently there are 12 million Protoss on this planet. The orbital period is 1.4 cycles and there are 3 natural satellites. We'll head on out to Endion to awaken the purifiers at a later time. I think for now, it is time to travel to Slayn. Malash is not gonna like
It
this.
is an armada.
Behold the Death Fleet under Amon's command, poised on laying waste to all life in the sector.
Then we had best act swiftly.
Rakshir. Usurpation by ritual combat cannot be rushed. Its rites demand careful preparations if they are to be accepted.
We are in orbit above a hostile world with an imposing fleet, and you speak of preparation?
I intend to depose Malash, the ruler of an entire people, and bring them under my thrall. You will aid me, and in return, I will remove the TAL'DARIM from this conflict. That was our bargain. To do this, the ritual must be carried out as tradition demands.
This bargain grows less appealing by the moment.
They're still very much so Protoss, right? I mean, they seem very different, but in the end, they still work together with a bunch of, what are they called? Traditions. Anyways, Alarak.
I wish to know more about this
tell me.
Rakshir, your ritual combat.
To understand Rakshir, you must first understand the sacred chain of ascension that ultimately links to Amon. Each of us is shackled to his will, and to the will of he who is in the link above. And yet, there is a way to ascend. By blade and blood, any TAL'DARIM can usurp the position of the one above his station. It is through this ritual that Amon's ascendants are assured to be the most capable to carry out his will.
Then Malash is the most powerful of your people?
He is considered so, but he has yet to face me.
The voice actor is so good. Blade and blood. Love the way that he said that. I feel like I've already been everywhere, but
My scouts are tracking the movements of the Golden Armada.
I like how these Legacy of the Void episodes have become pretty much like 50% gameplay and then 50% cinematics and us going around the Spear of Adun. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think it's a lot of fun, but compared to Wings of Liberty, there are just simply so many, I guess conversations to have and so many cutscenes and whatnot to play. Anyways, Rohana, how are you?
There are things I understand about the TAL'DARIM. Their zeal, their desire to appease their god. What I cannot understand is why Amon would cast aside his loyal allies so easily. Why he would betray their sacred trust and treat them as fodder.
I have felt his grand ambitions, Artanis. The dark truth is, Amon wishes no allies, aside from his hybrid. He believes he's ending a cycle of violence, but he only brings about an eternity of abomination.
Okay.
Artanis, it is good to see you.
So, does that mean that Malash may very well still be under the influence of Amon? Or do they also sort of have a distaste for him right now? And does it just simply mean that Alarak is trying to capitalize on this scenario? Right? The situation that they are in right now. Anyways, let's talk to Karax.
I've been analyzing the TAL'DARIM's war machines. Their technology is cloned from Kalai designs. Aside from the construction materials, there is little deviation. How is this feat possible?
There have always been legends of vessels that set out into the cosmos and never returned. Of attack forces gone missing.
I have heard these stories. Whispers of angry spirits of our past that strike when you are most vulnerable. Imagine if all this time we have been fighting an unknown war against the TAL'DARIM.
It would explain a great deal.
How sad. They are thieves, never knowing the joys of their own invention. How despicable.
I love how every single race we have encountered so far in this entire game always assumes that what they have is the best version of the, entire galaxy. I mean, the Templar here think they're better than everyone else. Obviously, Raynor thought that he was pretty much, the pinnacle of goodness as well. Sarah Kerrigan fighting only for the best things that she knew, obviously, too. But it seems like every single one of them made the assumption that they were all doing the right thing. I think, actually, if they would just talk it out, I think that most of them would probably get along quite well. By the way, where is Kerrigan right now? Surprised we didn't actually hear from her.
In order to invoke the challenge of Rakshir, preparations must be completed, as the decrees of old describe. Ready your warriors. Malash will surely attempt to interfere.
Alrighty. So here we go. It's time for the mission. I know, you thought it wasn't coming anymore. I just wrap up the video right here and be like, alright guys, we're gonna play the mission in the next episode. No. Let's have a look. So, apparently we will unlock the Void Ray over here. I will also get 20 Solarite for doing the bonus objective. There's TAL'DARIM forces detected, as well as some hostile dancing. Can't forget about the hostile dancing. And obviously we also have 2 achievements that I don't have just yet. Could one of Malash's Guardians while the Terracine Fog is active? I have no clue what any of that means. And we also have Rise and Shrine. Complete the steps of the Rite mission before the 4th Terracine fog cycle begins on the normal difficulty. So what I'm gathering here is that there is going to be some sort of fog happening. I am in no particular rush. I'm definitely not going to be doing Rise and Shrine. I'll make sure to do that one over at the live stream, but we may be able to do... Guerrillas in the Mist. Now, Brutal has been selected. It is time to launch.
These are Malash's guardians. I need you to eliminate them before I proceed.
Is that Malash?
If it must be done. Wait, what is that strange fog?
Terrazine. It flows in cycles from the chasms of Slayn, bringing us closer to the void.
Oh.
Amon's forces will be able to manifest until the flow subsides.
So wait, they're just high all the time?
They do not possess their full power here, yet they will strike at your base ruthlessly.
The TAL'DARIM are just high all the time.
I thought you promised an assured victory, Alarak.
You enjoy a challenge, do you not?
Very well. My forces will pursue the Guardians while it is clear. When the Terrazine flows, we must endure the onslaught.
Alrighty, so here we go. My arm is feeling much better, by the way, so that's good.
The Terrazine will rise shortly, my warriors. Be vigilant.
My arm is feeling much better, so hopefully my gameplay is not gonna be...
Void rays can now be warped in at our Stargate. They are ideal for intercepting foes in the battle ahead.
Well done, Phase Smith. We will make good use of them.
I mean, Void Rays are always good, right? Has there ever been a Protoss player who thought, well, I shouldn't have made that Void... You know, like, you basically always want to make Void Rays. Void Rays are absolutely phenomenal. I don't think there's anyone that disagrees with me on that one. Now, what I will end up doing is doing a little bit of scouting. Apparently, the fog is going to arrive in just a couple of seconds once more. Did I take damage, or...?
This world and the void is lifting.
No.
Amon's forces will arrive soon.
So basically, the fog is just an indication that enemy units are going to be attacking our base, right? I think that's what we're gathering here. I obviously do want to once again build up our forces here. Don't really want to use these abilities if I don't have to. There we go, very good. I don't want to use my orbital strike here because I'm trying to save up some energy. Let's go ahead and put up another pylon. Oh, there's actually going to be continuous attack waves. I thought it was just going to be like one group of attack waves, but no, that's not quite the case. Ah, okay. Still trying to save energy. Or save resources, rather, so I can chrono search out my full saturation here. Here we go. There we go. So that's actually full saturation right here. Ooh, a couple of siege tanks there in the back. Okay, I think we're gonna focus on heavy Void Ray. I mean, Void Rays are just so good. They're just so fun to play, right? Like, I mean, if you've played StarCraft 2 at any point, you probably have faced against a player who decided to go mass Void Ray, and then you realize, hey, wait a second. Those units are very difficult to kill if they're maxed out. And you are correct. The key to fighting Void Rays in multiplayer is to not let them get maxed out. Dude, the damage output is ridiculous, though. Am I crazy or what? Look at that! Dude, seriously. Yep, we are gonna make a lot of Void Rays. I'm just saying. I don't know how many I can make at once. Probably 3 or so. Is there gonna be another expansion that I might be able to take?
Stand watch over the shrines. Kill them slowly and painfully.
My people will fight with honor, even when we are fighting for you. But first, we must establish our defenses.
Alright, so I've got 3.5 minutes right now where I can move out. I don't know if that means that I'm gonna be completely free of getting attacked right now, but we'll do a little bit of maneuvering. I'm gonna go for a lot of Void Rays. Void Rays are just so good. I mean, they seem to be even better right now than they are in the multiplayer version of StarCraft. Actually, I should probably chrono boost this.
Hierarch, I was able to scan the TAL'DARIM motherships in this region.
Oh.
They are carrying shipments of solarite. I don't think Alarak would mind if we liberated them.
Should we try and deploy Phoenix? Because I want to. Should we try and do it? I don't know if there's gonna be a big army over here, but as soon as I see like a big force, yeah, you know what? Just get in there. Phoenix! He just does his sick spin, spin, spin. Spin to win. He's the best Garen player on the planet. Sonya would be... Oh, hey, there it is. Oh, cool. Sonya would be jealous. Well, you know what? There we go. Oh, they actually spawn in more units. Yeah, that's not what I expected. That's really bad. Oh, God. They just... Yep, they just wiped my army. There was a whole lot more than I realized. I think that that mothership just warped in a bunch of units. Okay, so that means that my army is currently gone. I did not loot all of the resources here either. I guess I'm gonna have one probe, one hero probe, trying to gather as much of that as possible. I just lost all my stuff. That really is not good. Yeah. That sucks. Alright, I was hoping that that was not gonna be the case. You know what? I think I'm just gonna sit back then for a little while. Just make a lot of Void Rays. Another attack wave is coming up in 50 seconds, or there's gonna be several attack waves. I guess what I could do to make this a little bit easier is get some shield batteries. I don't know if they're gonna be fighting from several angles, but... There we go. Put up some shield batteries and just keep making Void Rays.
Gathers, Artanis. Make your preparations if you are so inclined.
Are there going to be more... Okay, no, don't... Okay, good. Are there going to be more units is what I was wondering. They are 250 minerals each, though. They are pretty pricey. Alright, so here's the fog. How many voids do I have? 6. I could have had like 10 already if I... Okay. We'll probably get the bonus objectives before I kill the final one of the Guardians. So there are 4 Guardians here in total. I just build up a lot of Void Rays for the time being, and we should probably be okay. Okay, so the fog subsides in 2 minutes. There we go. That's, you know, that seemed pretty good. Don't know if I have to worry about any detection here. I could deploy Phoenix here if I really wanted to. Now, there was an achievement, by the way, for me getting one of these Guardians while the fog cycle is going on, right? So I think I'm gonna save the one over here and then move out during one of the night cycles, or during one of the fog cycles. I guess it's not a night cycle, but... Dude, the damage of these voids is insane. Seriously, I should probably just focus on survivability. It seems much more important. Still though, that's a lot of enemy units here that are moving forward. But look, for some reason, they seem to do a lot of burst damage. Look at that. Look how quickly these... I guess they may not necessarily be normal, like, normal units here, but... That's still kind of crazy, though. Oh, really? I could do that. I think I'm gonna chrono search out some upgrades. That sounds like a fun thing to do. Ooh, gotta be careful. There's a lot of banelings over there.
The fog is fading. What better time is there to slay my enemies?
Okay, let's go to the bottom left-hand corner. I already have a nice little fleet here.
Behold the strength of the chosen.
Do you think I can kill this thing now?
TAL'DARIM ships are heading towards our Nexus, Hierarch.
Once again?
Down.
There we go.
We have destroyed a TAL'DARIM mothership.
Excellent. Only one remains.
So there's actually a push coming up right now. I do have Phoenix available. So maybe I should go ahead and use him. Although, yeah. No, that's not needed. Alright, here we go. Trying to head towards the bottom left-hand corner. Oh, there's one carrier apparently that got picked up immediately. Wonderful. Is there any more? Yeah. There's quite a lot of resources just scattered around the map. I think I'm just gonna continuously send them in. Okay, so here we go. Here's the first one of the objective points. We send in Phoenix, and look, everyone attacks him. That was a great suggestion. Thank you for that in the comment section. Phoenix just seems to not really die here, and he's taking a lot of the hits. Look at that. Oh yeah, Phoenix is sweet. A lot of Dark Archon here, though. I could play those, or I can just make more Void Rays. I think mass Void Ray is pretty good.
Come to bear witness to the end.
Okay. Guardian of Malash.
This shall not be our end, but a new beginning.
Alright. Any resources here? Doesn't look like that's the case. We can continue, well, I could just fly over here, right? Do you think I can just sneak by? Maybe. I mean, these units still deal a lot of damage, though. It looks like we're dealing a decent amount. Ooh, what was that? Oh, that's the actual tower itself.
Do you sense it? Tarazim. A shame you'll have no time to enjoy it with Amon's forces coming after you.
I kind of feel like I should wait here for a second. Fog arrives in a couple. I don't have mass recoil, but I can try and nuke this thing down right now, right?
Greater than we believed.
Go, 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 go. That's the achievement. Yeah, there we go. Okay, go, go, go.
Another
Go home, go home.
has fallen. What a thrilling sight.
I got the
If it is so
objective.
thrilling, why not join us?
Well, I must save my strength to face Malash, of course.
Could we, I'm just saying, hypothetically spawn in Phoenix? That'd be great. Okay, there we go. Didn't lose. That's good. My Void Rays are still coming back, but they're nearly here now. Phoenix is actually really strong, man. Look at him. I mean, I can't click on him, but he's got a dozen kills or so at least. Doop. Do you think I could chrono search out a couple of Void Rays? Do you think that's smart? Ah, there's a lot of units continuously moving forward though. Kinda scary. Wait, I can't make double Cybercore? Did I see that correctly? Oh, I don't have a gateway anymore. Ah, that's why. I was gonna say, that seems odd.
The Tarazim fumes are gone.
Okay, let's go.
Continue your hunt, Artanis.
Doing exactly that. Let's go. Trying to max out. There's gonna be an enemy base right over here too. This one's pretty close by. This may have actually been the first objective I was supposed to take out, but that will do.
You know little of Alarak, or you would not aid him.
We know very little of him, indeed.
Oh, what glorious deaths. You do well to promote my cause, Artanis.
I only hope that is true.
We know very little about him.
Fear Amon.
But to be fair,
Enemy ships have set a course for our nexus.
the thing is that we are currently obviously fighting the TAL'DARIM, and they're, you know... Hey look, there's a base over here I could technically take. But obviously they are guardians of Amon, right? So, you know. Even if he turns out to be a bit of a jerk, this is not as bad as it may look. Cool. I think I might actually be able to go for the victory. Don't know though, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and save here. I'm feeling pretty confident, and that's usually not a great sign. Obviously, do want to make sure that I get the bonus objective. Can I just target fire down to... There we go. Ah, sadly we don't get the kill off.
You should have everything now. Face me.
Thank you, Hierarch.
Before the warp
I
pin
shudder
finished.
to think of what they were planning to do with it.
The mighty Void Ray. That's unfortunate. Got 1 minute and 20 seconds. I think we're good, right? Okay, this will eventually get cleaned up. We still have 1 minute remaining. Do I actually get it down before the 4th cycle? I don't know. Should I try?
You will stand against
There we go.
God?
Did I do it? Did I accidentally get the 2nd achievement too? Or was that the 5th one?
Go to your death, Alarak. The Dark God will destroy you.
I have heard enough of his lies.
Your ritual is complete. What now?
Well, they were not part of the ritual, but these traitors would have aided Malash in it, and I wish to see them die. Now the time has come. High Lord, hear me. I invoke the right of Rakshir. Fight me according to our laws, or die a coward.
We meet in combat at daybreak. You shall have your challenge.
I like how he's, yeah, there we go, we did get it, nice. I like how, you know, he basically makes us do stuff, and he doesn't necessarily lie about it. He's just not 100% truthful, right? He pretended like this was part of the ritual, although apparently it was not. This does allow us though to face off against Malash in the next episode. I guess even if Alarak is not to be trusted, we would rather have him in power of the TAL'DARIM than, you know, Malash, because Malash doesn't seem like necessarily a nice guy. Although we don't really know very much about our dear old friend Alarak here either. Anyways, we got the full mission completed. Got all of the achievements here as well as the 20 Solarite. And what once again has been proven is that Void Rays are pretty incredible. I hope to try out the Destroyer in one of the upcoming missions. And I remember when I first played through Legacy of the Void like years ago, the Destroyer was just so overpowered. I don't know if they scaled it back at any point, right? But I remember it being so overpowered that you could literally just mass one unit. Although it seems like that is the case for the Void Ray as well, right? It has this really intense power buildup, and as soon as it's fully charged, it just seems to deal a ridiculous amount of damage. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed watching this video here today. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more, you know what to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. Special shout out to the Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for helping me out directly. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile alright, and I will see you in the next one.